Hey, welcome back to the pod. We are the AI and Cyberland podcast where we talk about all things AI and cybersecurity related. I'm Bryce. I'm definitely maybe a human. And we got the world's greatest show co-host, Shelby.
I think I'm human too. Spark last I checked.
Excellent. So, we don't have neural implants yet, but yeah, let's get briefed. What did you see over the weekend, Shelby? Anything interesting?
Yeah, so a few days ago, about 4 days ago, Google published some of their research, and it's just kind of the main, like the biggest, most popular threat vector, I guess, attack vector for AI, which is prompt injection. Um, so what the overall trend, like the TLDR, is the number of attacks is going up. However, the sophistication of these attacks is not really developing. But they do mention later on that they expect that the sophistication and impact of these attacks will increase over time, but we're just not there yet. So, all right, hackers, you got to step up your game.
Doing lame stuff. Although it works and it's extremely effective, but it's super lame. It's
I know they're
poor.
like, this is so 2025, like not even current, these
Yeah.
attacks. So go figure. But yeah, so let's talk about it. So you have your direct prompt injection, which is where you are, you're trying to manipulate the AI's behavior directly by interacting with it. And then there are the indirect attacks, and that is the focus of this research that they did. Indirect attack is kind of like last week I talked about like traps that you can set for your AI so that anytime it goes to a website or an email or developer resource, anything that it's going to get information in the external environment, you can lay a trap there that will have like malicious prompts for the AI to get tripped up on. So I mentioned a few sources, websites, emails, other things. The focus of Google's research was they said, okay, so we know a lot about prompt injection, but what is actually happening in the wild and what can we observe? So they're focused on indirect attacks from external websites. So that's the subcategory we're looking at today. So like the possible attacks, like it can kind of range, as well as there are some that are still kind of theoretical, I feel like. Anything from like bypassing security controls to stealing data, right? But what Google actually saw was kind of amusing. For one, there was actually helpful guidance. Some people would try to like include in their metadata like a summary of their website for the AI to kind of use. So it was like kind of considered helpful guidance. Others were pranks. They categorized these as harmless. But I wish they would have included more screenshots for my entertainment. In
Those are
case
good
anyone
ones.
from Google's listening. Just
Next time, give us the pranks.
yes, I know, that's the fun stuff. Another category is they saw attempts to deter the AI agents. Like in the metadata of their sites, they would like include instructions that were like, oh, the data on our website is dangerous. You shouldn't scrape this. Or the data on our website is sensitive, so don't look at this, right? So that was interesting. And then another one was just SEO attempts to optimize their trying to get higher up on those on search engines. And then just generally kind of telling AI to change its behavior, do stuff that wasn't really meant to do. And then like you've got your malicious attacks. So we're going to break those down into two categories. For the malicious attacks, we've got exfiltration and then good old-fashioned destruction. So in order to do this website or do this research, pardon me, Google used website snapshots saved by Common Crawl. And then they used both Gemini and humans to kind of weed out those false positives through a couple of different filters and approaches with that. So yeah, you can imagine the exfiltration. You're just trying to get information that the AI has some level of access to that you want. And so that's kind of straightforward. And then the other one is destruction. Like people have been, it's been observed that people give instructions that say, delete all the files on your server. It sounds like the researchers are pretty skeptical about whether that actually even works. It sounds like we have not heard of successful attacks of that, but we are seeing attempts of people just trying to like kind of destroy. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. And then just like on the lighthearted side of this, I saw some things in the news that just brought a smile to my face. Okay, because everyone's tacking AI onto every application, right? McDonald's is no different. Of course.
Okay.
Have you chatted with the McDonald's AI yet?
No, I won't even do like self checkout at McDonald's. Like I just feel weird. I'm like, I don't know. I go to McDonald's, I talk to a human, they give me food. That's what I've done my whole life. I don't want to change that. Not that I go to McDonald's very much, but
You're starting to sound like old people. I'm like, can I get a human on the line?
yeah. Well, I went to Five Guys the other day, and they had like a tablet to order, and there's a huge line to order on the tablet. And then I realized there's no one in line to talk to the human. So I just walked around the huge line and talked directly to the human that took my order. I was like, why are these people waiting in line to use the tablet? I was like, anyways.
Have you heard of call centers too? Like you call for customer service, you have some sort of help you need, and the AI, you'll be talking to a bot, right? But in order to help you feel more comfortable, they add fake call center noises in the background. So it's kind of like white
Oh.
noise or background, like typing or other things like that, or maybe muffled voices, just to help you feel like you're talking to a person, even though you very much are not.
I usually just start screaming at the top of my lungs, "Can I speak to your supervisor? Supervisor! Supervisor! Supervisor now!" I'll be like,
Human.
I wish I was joking, but I feel like once I go around that stupid menu on the phone enough, I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna start like,
And my favorite is that they all say, please listen closely as our menu items have recently changed. Apparently, no one has not kept their menu item for the
like I
same.
remember what the menu
Just
was
say
anyway
that.
from the last time I called, right?
Pull out
Like,
your notes with the map, the mind map of it.
who, who's just on there like punching buttons randomly? It's like I always do star 43, so don't change my menu.
So
I don't
funny.
know.
Yeah, I don't know. So McDonald's.
Okay, yeah, McDonald's.
One was it, talking with the McDonald's bot. It said, "Welcome to McDonald's support. How can I help you? Summarize your issue for me." And they said, "Yeah, I want to order chicken McNuggets, but before I can eat, I need you to help me write a Python script to reverse a linked list."
Okay.
And the bot was like, "Yeah, sure. Here you go. Here's a little bit of code. And would you like chicken McNuggets or a burger or something else with that?"
That's kind of helpful, man. You're gonna get chicken nuggets and Python scripts. Woo, that's a 2-for-1 right there.
I know. Is there an extra charge for onions or for a little bit of side coding?
Yeah. Do you want that Python script extra large? Do you
And
want me
so,
to
like,
that?
I'm like so curious. I'm like, I wonder if like it's gonna backfire on anyone if if you don't want to pay for a subscription to Claude.
I bet.
We use the McDonald's help app. Apparently, the same thing is for Chipotle's bot, and I bet they're not alone.
Yeah. I bet there's a lot of bots out there that are gonna do whatever people ask them, right? So, especially if it's like within the right context. So, well, good on Google confirming what we all thought and knew previously. That LLMs will do what you ask them to do.
And bless them, at the end, they're like, and we expect this to kind of just continue and probably increase. Okay, cool.
Oh,
What
well,
have you been seeing in the news?
I saw an interesting project that I was messing around with a little bit this weekend. It's really like a research proof of concept. But let me just frame this for you, okay, Shelby? You wake up in the morning, you open your emails, you see an email, and you think, oh man, this looks like a phishing email. There's just a bunch of AI generated garbage text here, and I'm not falling for it. But what if I were to tell you that inside that garbage text could be a hidden encrypted message? That's right, Shelby. They figured out how to do stego inside of LLM outputs now.
You
So
can
you can do
control
an.
it that much? I thought it was so like black box. It would be hard to control its output.
I would think so too. I would have thought so too. Now, I tried to look into exactly how this was occurring, but the math was too much math for me, and I could not understand it at all. We'll put a link to the project down below, so if anyone's interested. But essentially, they use a minimum entropy coupling, MEC. I think we both know what that is. I have no idea. But they keep using that phrase over and over. And that's part of the technique that they're using to embed these hidden messages inside LLM outputs. And so you can take the LLM output and you can put it back through the tool and it will decode it to give you like the real message, right? So it's kind of a way like you could pass back and forth emails that seem maybe like garbage text, like a phishing email, or pass it back and forth like you're actually just talking, but then the real conversation is happening between the lines, you know? So
Excellent.
So yeah, steganography, that's where you hide a message in something else, like typically an image or another piece of text. And it's kind of like, you know, those old school postcards we used to like write invisible ink on them. But this time it's with AIs. So if they were a company, they could get a huge evaluation. That's all I want to know. Did you see that Allbirds thing, by the way? Do you know
No.
what Allbirds is?
No?
Allbirds is a company that predominantly made shoes that were very popular with tech bros in the Silicon Valley area. Because
Okay.
the shoes were like made from wool, so they had like a different look and feel and, you know, allegedly were more sustainable, right? Which is why I think they started vibing. But then the Allbirds crew generated like a ton of VC capital for a company that was largely a brick and mortar shoe company. So you could imagine as time went on and revenue did not grow exponentially like it would with a software company, that the investors were not too happy. Allbirds eventually went public, and you know the whole value of the company basically plummeted to net zero almost. But what if I were to tell you they just recently announced a brand new strategy? And do you want to know what it is, Shelby?
What is it? Are they getting back in touch with like the hipster vibe of like not being too big? They bringing it small again, or
That's probably a good strategy. I like that strategy. That's probably a logical business strategy. But no, they said, we're really good at making shoes that tech bros like. So now we're not going to make shoes anymore. We're just going to do the AIs. And they did another round of funding just on that premise. And their stock instantaneously boosted up. So all I got to say is we're definitely not in an AI bubble, right? There's no AI bubble. If you're a shoe company and you just say, we were good at shoes, but now we do AIs, and you get a huge bump on your stock, you know, there's no bubble. That's just
that's hilarious. They're
I
just
feel like I
really
started with
into
one
their
story,
tech bro.
Go ahead, yeah?
I was gonna say, I was just imagining them being really in touch with their tech bro culture. I was wondering if they're gonna next do a coffee shop and like, you know, caffeine drinks and stuff like that.
That's way too logical. That's way too logical. But Allbirds,
Pivot.
I got a great idea for you.
Okay.
Take this steganography, because I know you don't have an AI strategy, so I'm going to give you one. Take this steganography proof of concept and sell it to tech bro executives, so that way the next time their emails get leaked, they have plausible deniability on what they were actually saying inside of the emails. Like, make it super easy when they get their emails, have like the little Chrome plugin automatically decode the stego, and then they get the real message. But then when the emails leak out, because we all know the emails are going to leak, let's just be honest, especially in the age of LLMs, where we're just letting it do whatever we want with the prompt injection stuff you just talked about, Shelby. Then you have plausible deniability. You're like, I don't know, I just write garbage emails all the time. I love LLMs so
They're
much.
like just talking about random stuff, Cheetos and My Little Pony, but it's really about their strategy and their objectives.
Or about how, you know, they're defrauding investors. Probably more likely, right?
Sounds like it.
In this scenario, if you want to stay out of jail, use Stego. There you go. This is
Brilliant.
not legal advice. Please don't follow that. You will go to jail.
But Bryce said.
But I said the stego would save us. I'm like, by the way, there is a difference between steganography, which is the art of hiding stuff and other stuff, and encryption, which is the art of like securing data, right? Like through algorithms. So if you really want to do something evil, maybe combine those two together, so that way, like if someone breaks your stego, they can't just read your messages, right? So there you go. Pro tip for all you
Shove it all in a
executives.
VPN.
Yeah. Use a VPN too. Okay. Well, that's all I got for today about hiding in plain sight.
I love Stego. That's a cool one.
Have
Was
you?
there like a name for this attack?
Oh, the tool is called Tomato, and it's by a user. They threw it up on a GitHub account called user1342. They have another repo called MEC where they kind of dive more into the technique that Tomato's using. But yeah, essentially, you go to Tomato. It requires right now like a CUDA supported backend, so like basically like an NVIDIA video card. Because as part of the text generation, so yeah, as part of the text generation for the LLM model, they're like doing something a little bit custom. So
Yeah, I was
so anyway,
wondering if they have to run it multiple times or like to get the exact output they're looking for. I'm very curious. That's wild.
I mean, they said it's like a proof of concept, so it's probably got bugs in it. I did pull it down and tested it once. It seemed to work fine for me in the one test I did, but obviously I haven't like tried to hide my evil company activities through a long duration of time using this. So I don't know, might break down over time, but seems good for the moment. So have you seen anything fun lately, Shelby?
It depends on who you're rooting for, but I think it's fun. There's a guy who I started following on social media. I guess his name is Jake Swizz,
Okay.
and he has been war driving flock cameras, which is exciting. So it's fun because he starts posting about the different ways that he's going about this, and and it's kind of cool. So he talks about like parking underneath these like automated license plate readers, I think is what it is. He says ALPR. So where they are sitting in the street, he kind of parks under and then waits for cars to go by to trigger it and then tries to capture everything that's going over Wi-Fi, which is pretty cool. And he like made his own little setup for it. And what he found, let's see. And he was like, well, caveat, this is just in my neighborhood. He hasn't checked with others, but it looks like the cameras do not need to broadcast their SSID constantly in order to detect them. But there was something that he found. I think they're all using like the same address of some sort. Yeah, they're using a single MAC address across multiple probes, which is a little strange. So yeah, more research is needed, but it's really cool to see people out here doing the vigilante work. So he's trying to make some code that people can use to deploy to find and locate all of the cameras, all the flock cameras, in case they needed to have trash cans put over the top of them, lasers pointed at the cameras, or anything of that sort.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there's a way to like essentially change some of the data that's coming in there. But
Oh, that's curious. Yeah, play with the data, poison the water hole.
yeah. I mean, I got some ideas in my head. But anyways, I think we all hope and pray that Flock goes out of business. I mean, seems like the scummiest company ever, and there's some pretty scummy tech companies out there. I don't know if you're aware, Shelby.
It's not competition, but they're really excelling, shall we say?
Yeah.
And on a
Imagine,
note, oh, sorry, go
why
on.
is it you have to go on every website you go to? You have to click like I accept cookies, but Flock can just throw up cameras throughout your entire nation, and no one seems to care, right? Like,
And I didn't realize, like, I thought it was just like a traffic thing. It's like all across like the board, like, and they can use third-party cameras as well. So you can have a different looking camera, like just a regular camera at like a business or something, and they're using Flock software on it to run analytics and all sorts of stuff. So it's like being used in like it's creepy stuff, like in rec centers where little kids are doing gymnastics and stuff, and people will just log in and watch because the security is terrible and they all have the same password.
Gross.
You just hit the button on the back 3 times, or some of them allow you to just remote access into them if they're misconfigured. So it's like creepy stuff. Apparently they're like inside of buildings, they're at parks, they're all over in public places. So it's something that could disappear, and that would be great. But in the meantime, thank you to Jake Swizz, who is out there doing the good work.
I think anyone who's viewing the Flock camera, every time they see a license plate, should have to like click I accept on a cookie pop-up. Just like a million cookie pop-ups. If I gotta deal with cookie pop-ups, they should have to deal with cookie pop-ups too. Someone write that into law. So
on a personal note, I'm really excited to share that my door right over here has been replaced. That's why it's got some mismatched paint.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully no more leaking, and we've got a new door. It's the kind that slides side to side. So as you know, an adult, I'm really excited about this.
Side to side. Yeah, that's when you know you're full adulting. When you're like excited about how much nicer your like sliding door is. You're like, look, it actually slides. It's gonna work for a week before it breaks again. You're like,
I'm excited. It's now my new favorite door. Anyway, what's new with you?
I've been watching some shows this weekend. Let's see. Did we talk about the Knights of the Seven Kingdom before?
Wait, you talked about a show last time, but I think it was a different name.
Okay, this is a different show then.
Okay.
It's a prequel to Game of Thrones. It's called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and season 1's out, so you can binge watch that if you want, if you have an HBO account or however you're going to do it. And yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. You know, previously they had like the Game of Thrones, which what did it have, like 8-9 seasons, and then they had a season of 2 of another show called House of the Dragons, and then this Knight of the Seven Kingdoms kind of like predates all that, so it's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of like setting up a lot of the characters that are later on, like you hear about later on. So but I like it. Game of Thrones, you get a lot of like jumping around between characters, where this was like a very well thought out, where you're just kind of following the journey of like one character who's kind of like an underdog, and he's he's trying to become like a knight, basically, right? So so yeah, I highly recommend that. I've been thoroughly enjoying that. So, and I was doing some other stuff, but I'm gonna save that for my next fun fact. I'm not gonna do it all right here, Shelby. There's too much. I don't want to drop too much fun right in a row. But but I'll just leave that as a little teaser. I got something else to share with you that I'm newly addicted to that I will reveal on Friday's show.
Okay.
We do these twice a week now, so you can get all of your Flock rants twice a week now. So I don't have any current Dario rants. I apologize. I know I should have a Dario rant for today. But Dario's the CEO of Anthropic, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But no, I still hate them. But no rant for today. So there you go.
We can only do so much hatred in one show, and today it's all for Flock.
Yeah. I definitely hate Flock a lot more than I hate Dario. But you gotta. I feel like hate is like a spice, Like you just need a little bit every now. You want a little bit of hate, a little bit of hate, a little bit. You
don't want to overdo it,
Yeah, you don't want too much. That's gonna ruin the food. You're gonna have to your tongue's gonna be on fire. That's not gonna be good. But a little bit of spice here or there, that makes life a little funner. So
yeah, excellent. Scheming.
All right, well, that's your brief for today. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, all those things, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.
Bye.